Hi, I'm Davey Blackburn, host of the Nothing is Wasted podcast. This podcast was born out of my own personal tragedy and the discovery that even in our deepest pain, God is still at work. Nothing is Wasted is a place where Christian authors, pastors, thought leaders, and everyday people share their real stories of loss, trauma, grief, and suffering, and how God met them right there in the middle of it. We don't rush past the pain or offer shallow answers. Instead, we have honest, practical, and hope-filled conversations that help people in pain find a pathway through. So if you've ever wondered whether God could use your story or if you're walking through something that feels unbearable, listen, you're not alone. Join us and discover how, in God's economy, nothing, absolutely nothing, is wasted.
Fox News is now streaming live on Fox One. When it matters most, turn to the voices you trust. We go beyond the headlines, bringing you the stories you won't hear anywhere else. Live coverage, sharp analysis, real perspective. At home or on the go, stay connected when it counts. Stream Fox News on Fox One. Download today.
Hello, good morning, and welcome back to the Morning Five. So glad to have you with us today. I'm your host, Michael Ware, President and CEO of the Center for Christianity and Public Life. Today is Tuesday, March 3rd. I'll start off with a reading from the first Psalm. Blessed is the man who has not walked in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stood in the way of sinners, and has not sat in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law will he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the waterside, that will bring forth his fruit in due season. His leaf also shall not wither, and look, whatever he does, it shall prosper. As for the ungodly, it is not so with them, but they are like the chaff which the wind scatters away from the face of the earth. Therefore, the ungodly shall not be able to stand in the judgment, neither the sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. May God bless the reading of his word. Well, friends, it's wonderful to be with you. I'm recording this pretty late, as I had the privilege of giving the keynote address to an annual gathering of the Citygate Network, which is the Association of Gospel Rescue Missions. Just love the work that they do to serve the poor, those without home, the disinherited, across our nation, and I'm grateful for them. All right, let's get into today's news highlights. First, at least 6 American service members have been killed in America's war with Iran as of yesterday, according to the U.S. government. The service members all served in Kuwait, where a retaliatory strike by Iran hit a makeshift operations center at a civilian port. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Dan Kane, told reporters yesterday that the fallen are, quote, true examples of what selfless service means. Our deepest and heartfelt condolences are with their families, their friends, and their units. We grieve with you, and we will never forget you. Next up, amid a barrage of attacks from Iran, Kuwait mistakenly shot down 3 American fighter jets, the Pentagon said yesterday, in what was a friendly fire incident. All 6 crew members of the jets ejected from the crashing aircraft safely and landed in Kuwait. Finally, for today's highlights, the State Department last night urged Americans in more than a dozen Middle Eastern countries to leave due to serious safety risks amid the ongoing conflict with Iran. Other than Iran itself, those countries include Bahrain, Egypt, Iraq, Israel, the West Bank and Gaza, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Syria, the UAE, and Yemen. Most of our listeners at the Morning Five live in the United States, but we do have international listeners, including some in the countries I've mentioned. If you happen to be abroad in any of these countries, or you happen to be an American in these countries and need help arranging travel, the State Department Consular Assistance is available at the phone number country code 1-202-501-4444. All right, now we'll dig into today's main story, and surprise, we're going to stick with Iran. It's not clear what comes next in America's war with Iran. Administration officials said yesterday that they would not rule out the possibility of sending American troops into Iran with boots on the ground. They offered vague timelines for completing military action in the region, with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth saying it would be a quick engagement, and Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman Dan Kane saying the work is, quote, just beginning and will continue. President Trump said yesterday that he's all in. Whatever the time is, it's okay, whatever it takes, he said. Right from the beginning, we projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have the capability to go far longer than that. He said American forces are aiming to destroy Iran's missile capabilities, annihilate their navy, and prevent the regime from obtaining a nuclear weapon in the future. The president has said he hopes to see a free Iran after this war, with the Iranian people rising up against a totalitarian government. While many Iranians have celebrated the death of the country's top officials over the weekend, that hasn't happened yet. Iran is reportedly controlled by an interim council aligned with the late supreme leader. The country attacked energy infrastructure yesterday in Qatar and Saudi Arabia, threatening their economic lifelines. Iran has fired hundreds of missiles and drones around the Middle East since the beginning of the war, many of them targeting Gulf countries hosting American military bases. Those strikes have wounded more than 100 people, and they killed the 6 American service members dead so far in the conflict. Even as the Trump administration has said the war could stretch more than a month, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth went out of his way yesterday during a news conference to say it would not mirror America's long wars in other Middle Eastern countries. This is not Iraq, he told reporters. This is not endless. Of the casualties so far, he said, war is hell and always will be. Both Hegseth and General Kane said they expect the United States to suffer more casualties in the conflict. Secretary of State Marco Rubio briefed members of Congress yesterday afternoon on the war, saying there, quote, absolutely was an imminent threat from Iran that warranted the strikes. He continued, I'm not going to give away the details of our tactical efforts, but the hardest hits are yet to come from the U.S. military, he told reporters. The next phase will be even more punishing on Iran than it is right now. America will be involved as long as it takes, he said, to reach its goals. And again, quote, the world will be a safer place when we're done with this operation. Lawmakers are planning to hold a vote on the war this week, with resolutions moving in both chambers of Congress to require the president to obtain approval from Congress in order to continue military force in Iran. A few Republicans have said that they will support the measures, which otherwise mostly have backing from Democrats. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, a libertarian-minded Republican who has long been skeptical of foreign intervention, wrote soon after the conflict broke out that, quote, the Constitution conferred the power to declare or initiate war to Congress for a reason, to make war less likely. As with all war, my first and purest instinct is to wish American soldiers safety and success in their mission. But my oath of office is to the Constitution, so with studied care, I must oppose another presidential war. We'll stop there for today and go to the Lord in prayer. Dear Father, always near us, may your name be treasured and loved. May your rule be completed in us. May your will be done here on earth in just the way it is done in heaven. Give us today the things we need today. Forgive us our sins and impositions on you as we are forgiving all who in any way offend us. Please don't put us through trials, but deliver us from everything bad, because you are the one in charge. You have all the power, and the glory too is all yours forever, which is just the way we want it. All right, friends, thank you for joining me today. As always, The Morning Five is brought to you in partnership with the That Sounds Fun Network, supported by the Center for Christianity and Public Life. If you'd like to learn more about our work at CCPL, you can visit ccpubliclife.org. We hope you have a blessed Tuesday.
Hi, I'm Davey Blackburn, host of the Nothing is Wasted podcast. This podcast was born out of my own personal tragedy and the discovery that even in our deepest pain, God is still at work. Nothing is Wasted is a place where Christian authors, pastors, thought leaders, and everyday people share their real stories of loss, trauma, grief, and suffering, and how God met them right there in the middle of it. We don't rush past the pain or offer shallow answers. Instead, we have honest, practical, and hope-filled conversations that help people in pain find a pathway through. So if you've ever wondered whether God could use your story, or if you're walking through something that feels unbearable, listen, you're not alone. Join us and discover how, in God's economy, nothing, absolutely nothing, is wasted.